Yeah. Cheers. Cheers. No chance, that's what you got. Up against a machine too strong. Pretty politicians buying souls for love song. Puppets won't find their place in line. But tie a string around your finger now, boy, cause it's just a matter of time. Cause you've got no chance. No chance in hell. 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 Come on.
Hello, creatures of the night. It is me, Duke CT, and this is the first Halloween special of The Last Reviewer Standing. And tonight, I was going to review something frightening. Some would say, are you going to review See No Evil, or the classic They Live, or something a little more low-key, something like Monster Brawl. But no, boys and girls, I'm doing something interesting, something truly horrifying, and that is Kurt Angle trying to be a leading man. Yeah, I'm not doing a scary voice tonight. Sorry.
For those who don't know, Kurt Angle is one of the most well-known pro wrestlers that TNA has on its roster, as he's not only one of the only Olympic gold medalists to ever step foot in a wrestling ring, but in my humble opinion, he is one of the best athletes ever to grace the world of professional wrestling. Seriously, this man never disappoints in the ring.
But as an actor, yeah, he's no Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But that doesn't stop him, though, from cameoing in other films like, say, Warrior or Pain and Gain. In fact, he's actually starred in a couple of films as a leading man, Endgame and River of Darkness. But we're not going to be covering this today. Oh no. We're going to be looking at something more of an infamous piece, Endgame for 2009. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I rip into this pile of garbage.
We start off with Brad Mayfield being played by Kurt Angle in a hotel room with some pretty young woman.
A nice hotel for once, Alex.
It's cheap, and when they find your body, they'll wonder, what's a beautiful girl like you doing in a place like this?
Don't joke around. You know I don't like it when you talk like that.
Watch it, honey. You're starting to sound like a wife.
Wow, right off the bat, bad acting and dialogue. We have really picked a winner tonight.
Anyway, Brad takes some pictures of the girl and kills her while doing the nasty. And after a piss-poor transition with an out-of-date camera for a crime scene, we get to our hero of the picture, Dan Burke, who is played by Eric Wright. Anyway, after looking over the crime scene, the police go after her roommate, but before that we get...
Seriously? That's the best makeup you have for this guy? I went to conventions and saw people with better cosplay and better makeup than this Joker has on right now.
Anyway, back to the story. The roommate, Carol Peterleg, being played by Jenna Morasca, and if her name is familiar to you, she won the reality game show Survivor The Amazon. But wrestling fans know her for having the worst female match of all time with Sharmell, Booker T's wife, back in Victory Road in 2009.
Yeah, I'm still in therapy because of that.
Anyway, after the disguised Brad takes a look around and takes a phone book of the deceased girl, he walks away as the real cops walk by him. Then, when he goes back to the apartment, Brad tries his best to be an intimidating serial killer, but in the end, it's just useless filler. Moving on, Detective Burke goes home to a loving wife.
You know what that's like. It's like pulling teeth getting anything done around there.
Medical examiner's office. Wow, that's no 9 to 5. I don't see why you don't just work the system like everyone else. Get your degree and move on.
I'm happy where I am right now.
Yeah, you're happy. I didn't marry you for better or worse. Just for better.
After that, we cut to a rich man who wants to hide his secret affair.
Beef Fraser was murdered last night.
Sweet Jesus.
I hope I can count on your complete loyalty in this.
Yes, sir, of course. What a terrible thing to happen.
I must not be implicated in this in any way.
I see what you mean, but how's that possible?
By searching her apartment and finding anything that might connect us.
Yeah, I know somebody that might help us. He worked for the CIA.
How about making contact with your friend?
So the driver meets up with his friend and agrees to break into the apartment. And how does he break into the place? A screwdriver. Yeah, nothing can go wrong with that, right? Moving on, we get to a funeral of the murder victim, and good lord, really? Really?
Really? Really? Really?
Red ring glasses. You know, you could just tell that the movie just gave up at this point. 30 minutes into the movie, it gave up. It gave up, people.
Oh, and Brad escapes again after a timely feint from the mother of the victim. After that, Brad gets another hotel room, and we watch him get settled.
Oh yeah, they really had to put in that pissing scene. That was totally necessary. All the great films do it. I mean, Axum is probably one of the best movies of all time because of that.
Oh, and Brad kills the rich old man from earlier. Why? Filler.
Oh, I'm serious, people. Over 80% of this movie is basically pointless filler of characters walking around doing mundane tasks or talking to pointless and boring characters. I'm cutting out a lot of stuff that doesn't add up to anything. So trust me on this, you're not missing much at all.
Anyway, Brad comes back to his apartment he was living in earlier to trash the place, but before he finishes, he makes a call.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Burke. How's your daughter?
Huh?
Who is this?
It's Brad Mayfield. Who'd you think?
Calling to give yourself up.
What made you think it was me at the funeral home?
Call it a talent, or just luck.
You were 1 second away from sudden death.
You won't get away next time.
If you take me on, you'd best be careful. A man like you has a lot to lose. I have to go now. By the way, no need to get a search warrant. If you come right now, I'll let you in personally.
What's going on?
Mayfield's at his apartment.
How can you be so sure of that?
He told me.
How do you get this number?
I don't know. I told you he was dangerous.
So, Detective Burke, after this huge invasion of privacy, you're going to get your family out of the house, right? And move them to, say, protective custody out of the city or out of the state. I mean, a serial killer just called your home. I mean, that should be cause for alarm, right? I mean, you do love your family, don't you? I mean, wouldn't you move them out of state because of serial killer? No? Okay then.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll take you to burn. Fire.
So after Brad destroys his apartment, he hooks up with another chick and kills her. Then we see Carol at her job at a strip club, and man, the song playing here is so bland and one note.
But now it's time for that to end. A whole new level shall begin. I think you want it just as bad as I do.
So, you caught my act last night?
I was there. It was strictly business.
Oh yeah, was it? How would you feel if it was your wife up there?
I don't know. Never really thought of her that way.
You don't think about her much, do you?
Not as much as I've been thinking about you lately.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Is this dirty? It's not my perfume.
Yeah, well, Pat had some trouble with a junkie last night down at the station. I had to give her a hand.
So does Pat wear the Chanel or is it the junkie?
Designer junkie?
Our hero, everybody.
Anyway, Carol is with a friend drinking until she meets a familiar face.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Do you live around here?
I used to, before my wife and I split up. Now I'm in the South Side. You come to Cefalos often?
Not really.
Alex Miner.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Listen, I'm starving. How would you like to go to dinner?
I can't. I'm actually with someone.
Well, bring her with us. We'll have a party.
I don't think so, Casanova. I don't even know you.
Well, how about going to dinner with me some other time? Do you like Chinese food?
What?
What's your number?
Carol Peterlake. I'm in the book.
No, I'm not scared of Kurt's shaven smile. I'm more terrified of the unshaving Kurt smile. It's far more creepy.
Moving on, we find Burke asleep at his desk.
Burning the midnight oil again.
Nah. Ann and I had a fight. I couldn't sleep. So I thought I'd come in and try and get something done.
Yeah, well, I've got some good news and I got some bad news. First, the bad news. Someone in this department has leaked information to the Post-Gazette. The good news, your boy Mayfield has just turned up on a missing persons report. Where did you get this, Danny? One Brad Mayfield has turned up on a missing persons report of a Helen Conover. He was the last one to see her. She's vanished. I've issued a search warrant and sent a SWAT team over to her address. Maybe you ought to meet up with him there.
So the SWAT team is assembled, and yeah, all four of them go on to take down Brad Mayfield once and for all.
Jim, get down on the ground.
All right, Copper.
Shut up and down on the ground.
Let me ask you something. You ever shoot a man before?
I said shut up and down on the ground.
I don't think you have.
I said shut up. Back up.
Shoot me.
Back up.
Shoot me.
Back up.
How did that happen? It'd be more plausible if he snuck up behind the guy and gave him an angle slam.
So after discovering another dead female, Burke gets called into the lieutenant's office.
Look, Danny, you know how the department feels about stampeding the public with these serial killer stories.
Why do I care if the public knows about it or not? I need to know if Mayfield killed Ornstein and all these other girls.
Once it starts, there's no stopping it.
And that's my fault?
They've instructed me to pull surveillance on the Peterlake girl, and for you to move on to something else.
Is it all right if I pursue this on my own?
It's over, Danny.
So after that cliche, we find out that Carol is with Brad on a boat on the outskirts of town with a guy she hardly knows. What could possibly go wrong? Then after that, we get this very odd scene.
What the hell is that?
I'm your nightmare, Burke.
You should have ran when you had the chance.
Well then, come and get me.
Why don't you tell me about Sarah? Sarah Ornstein.
Tell you what. You find me, I'll give you an exclusive interview.
Is Carol there?
You know, I'd have made a wonderful detective. A little late for that, I guess.
It's Mayfield?
Yeah.
Oh, he sounds actually like a pretty decent guy. Very intelligent.
You talked to him?
Well, yeah, I mean, he called.
Ann, I don't want you talking to him. If he calls this house and I'm not here, hang up the phone.
Burke, hello, get your family out of the house. The serial killer has your home phone number and possibly knows where you live. And ergo, knows where your family lives. So, the best thing you can do is get your wife and kid out of there and put them in protective custody. Tell your superiors that the serial killer has your phone number, so at least they can track him at least. You're not gonna do that? Okay. Whatever happens to them is on you.
Anyway, Burke finds out that Brad Mayfield might not be his real name as he goes to talk to some people about Mayfield's past.
Questions pertaining to an ongoing investigation in the city. And it has to do with a former family, church members that used to go here. I don't know if these names ring a bell or not. Have you ever heard of a Mayfield? How about a Minert?
Minor. Now that rings a bell.
There was a mom, 2 small children, a little girl named Shirley, a little boy named Alex.
Yes, I remember. The mom and the sister were fine, but Alex was a sick boy. Well, for instance, he killed a cat, and they found that the cat had been suffocated. And the strangest thing about it was, he had dolls lined up all the way around the cat. It seems like this boy had an affinity for dolls. Every time I saw this kid, he had a doll with him. He loved dolls. And I thought that was very strange.
Meanwhile, Carol starts snooping around Alex's boat, and she is shocked to find out the horrible truth about a man she knew little to nothing about. And when she tries to leave...
What? You don't like my company?
And that, sadly, is the best marketing promotion TNA has ever done for its pay-per-views.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the big moment of this picture and what this movie is known for. Kurt Angle in a clown suit. Enjoy.
Mommy didn't order a clown.
Hello, Mrs. Burke.
How do you know my name?
Oh, these balloons? They're from Mr. Burke, Chrissy's dad.
Oh. What a nice surprise.
It sure is.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
As completely hilarious as this scene is, this could have all been avoided if Burke had 2 working brain cells and realized that, hey, the serial killer has my home phone number, ergo might have my home address. So that means my family might be in danger. I could have gotten them out, so maybe, just maybe, this wouldn't have happened. So you know what? I put all of this, everything, on you, Burke. This is all your fault.
Ugh, let's just end this, alright? As Burke finds out where Alex is, he goes in the cover of The Day for Night Shot. Also, love the fact that he's going out alone. I mean, it's not like Alex can jump him from behind. Oh, wait. But in the end, Burke's little girl saves the day by shooting Alex through the chest.
That was anticlimactic. Yeah, you said it, Calypso.
So with that, the movie finally ends.
So that was Endgame, ladies and gentlemen, for my Halloween special. My thoughts?
The only thing positive here was Kurt Angle in a clown suit. Everything else, the acting, pacing, writing, the camera work, all were horrible. You couldn't root for the good guy because you're an idiot and a cheater who put his family in danger when he could have gotten him out of the city. Kurt Angle and Jenna Morasca were both terrible in this. This gets a 1 out of 10. There is nothing to see here. Get as far away from this pile of crap as you can.
I'm Duke CT, remembering bad wrestling movies, so you don't have to. Have a happy Halloween.
You got no chance. The message is simple. You guys know chance in hell. What the corporate ministry